Boxing King Media in association with Boxro. Eddie Hearn, you're not up for a round of cricket, are you?
I know, bit sort of in the middle of a Christmas jumper and a cricket jumper, really, but we move.
To watch cricket?
We do actually, yeah.
England and Pakistan at the moment. Let's get straight to this show. Junaid Boston. I spoke to Shane Watson yesterday, and he feels he's on the same sort of skill level as Adam Azim, and he feels that you guys are going to kind of push him in the same sort of direction.
Yeah, I think that, Junaid doesn't necessarily yet come with a fanfare of Adam Azim, and I don't mind that, because I think he's definitely not going under the radar, but at the same time he's got a lot of work to do. And I like the route that he's taking. Grant Smith's an outstanding trainer. He knows exactly how to move him. He's selling a lot of tickets. He's staying nice and active. And as we start to push him and really get behind him in 2023, I think you're talking about a big star, in the division. I think he's a young man with a lot of potential. He speaks well. He looks good. And I'm excited for his future.
You made a statement yesterday saying he's your best prospect. Your response to that?
We've got a lot of them. But listen, he's right up there. I mean, I think everybody... You're only as good as your last performance, right? And sometimes you see a prospect that comes out, looks unbelievable, and then, next fight just sort of labours to a points win. So let's see what he does on Saturday. But he's a special kid, a special talent.
A few 50-50s on tomorrow night. Which fight do you think we're most likely to see an upset?
I mean, when it's 50-50, it's not really an upset. I think JJ Metcalf, Courtney Pennington is a very good fight, and I think that's a very tough fight for JJ. Bridges O'Connell, again, 50-50 fight. Even Lopez Warrington, of course you back Josh in that fight of his experience, but many see Lopez as the favourite in that fight, and I think it's a very, very tough fight. But, particularly those three. Some of the younger kids are in tough fights as well, but, three of those I think will be really good.
I spoke to Josh yesterday about his Joyce's first fight since a broken jaw. In all your time of experience of boxing, do you think that will affect him some sort of way in that fight?
I think coming back from a broken jaw is always difficult. Coming back from a broken orbital bone is sometimes even more difficult. But he's done the tough sparring. It's not like, the doctors and the specialists will tell you that when they have that operation, generally the jaw is stronger. But also mentally, obviously, it's a lot to overcome. That's where his experience is so important. And the sparring that he's done and stuff like that. Like Josh, he's a tough man. He knows the sport inside out, and he'll be ready for tomorrow night. But Lopez can punch, he can move, he can box. He's unpredictable at times. It's a very difficult fight all round. But I feel like Josh's experience will see him through.
The worst case scenario tomorrow, if England game goes to penalties, how late could we be finishing tomorrow night?
Well, when we're talking about starting the Felix Cash fight at 9 o'clock, obviously just after that, hopefully he can get Neves out there nice and early, and we can move into the Ebony Bridges fight as early as 9:30, and that would give us a 10:15, 10:30 main event. That's with no extra time. Obviously, with the extra time, you talk about 30 minutes and then penalties, which is probably going to take us a 45-minute delay beyond that. So you're talking about potentially, in a worst-case scenario, an 11:15 main event. But again, if Cash and Bridges end in stoppages, we'll be fine. But hopefully it's just 3-0 England, and we can get the big fights on.
We can dream. And just a couple of other questions on other subjects. When you sent that offer to Gervonta Davis, obviously you've been stung with Adrian Broner before. Did you know back of your mind this is going to end up on Twitter?
Always. There's always a chance. You hope that people have got a little bit more class than that, but you should never take that for granted. So, when that offer was made, which was a while ago now, I'd spoke to Gervonta Davis. He asked us to send the offer over. I spoke to Eric Gomez, told him I'd be making that offer. We made the offer. I'm not, there's nothing to hide. It's a very good offer. 10 million minimum with a big pay-per-view upside. So, but at the end of the day, I think he said he's getting a lot more than that for the fight. So congratulations to him.
Is there an element of potentially using your offer to get better money from other promoters?
Of course, and I would do the same if I was a fighter.
And
you put it out there, but I definitely use my name and my offer to get more money.
Anthony Joshua, that you just mentioned in the previous interview, is out in the States looking for another training team. Obviously, there's a lot of debate about this whole subject about him getting another trainer. Where do you stand with it? Because a lot of the old school trainers are saying he should stick with Rob McCracken. He had his best days under him, and now he's been training with Virgil, and I believe he's in Dallas right now. So it's there's a lot of talk about it.
Yeah, I just feel that with AJ, he's just got to be happy and comfortable with his team and what he's doing. And obviously, he's making that investment now in terms of spending time to go out and look around and feel comfortable and learn. I don't think AJ needs to change a lot. I just feel he's got to be confident and comfortable. And once that training team's in place, we'll confirm the opponent, and before Christmas you'll have all the news you need.
Is Angel Fernandez still part of that team?
I don't get involved, to be honest with you. Like I've not, a couple of times I've had conversations with AJ about who he's going to see in America and what I might think, and I'm sure he'll bounce things off me, but not involved. I couldn't tell you at this point who is confirmed for that training team and who's not.
And just a couple of tweets from your old mate at Frank Warren's team, Dev Sani. He tweeted the other day about the Okoli situation. I think he quoted you as saying a few years back where if somebody didn't want to be with you, you'd let him go. And he's saying, kind of suggested why you're not letting Okoli go.
Because we've spent an absolute fortune of him. We've done an unbelievable job. We've done a lot of money because he's never really been a draw of any kind. And we just feel that because of the comments he made, we're not going to allow that to happen. Really, I mean, look, sometimes, Dev, if you sit down with someone and you have a man-to-man conversation and he puts his points across, you put your points across, sometimes you get in a position where you go, fair enough, I think it's, I understand that and I'll let you go. But when someone just comes out and calls you things like that, when you've done the job of a lifetime for someone, I don't feel like, and I'm not prepared to just let that go and not back up our contractual situation. So that's my thoughts, and thank you to Mr. Sani, Dev, but for his opinion. I like Dev Sani. I think he's quite funny. I've never met him, but I quite like him.
I'd like to see you both on camera together. The other tweet you said was about Chisora. He said 4 months ago you said Chisora beat Wilder, and obviously now you're.
I didn't say he beat. I said he could beat Wilder. Frank Warren also said that Derek Chisora should never fight again. And him against Tyson Fury is a complete mismatch. So you can ask Dev about those comments. But the situation is Derek Chisora beat Kubrat Pulev and looked all right doing it. And Kubrat Pulev is a top 15 guy. I've never really slagged off the Tyson Fury-Derek Chisora fight. But you saw the levels and he took a pasting against Tyson Fury. And I think it's time for him to retire.
Wish you all the best, man. Thank you.
Cheers.